Right, hello. The plan today is basically just come out, play radio and camp overnight in the Peak District. Now, initially I was hoping to put a backpack on with some radio gear in and go to some high ground and do some backpack HF radio. However, the weather has really come down on the high ground. It's like a thick soup of rain and mist. So not only is it a little bit risky driving around in those conditions, it's unnecessary anyway. And two, trying to get anywhere with the radio gear through all the rain and the mud just been a bit ridiculous really, because if I'm here all night I don't want to get soaked and then end up having to scramble around and dry off and such like, and get the radio equipment wet. So as it stands, I'm not going to be going up to the high ground with my backpack. What I am going to do is I'm just putting the tent up here at the campsite. Just going to chuck in some of the equipment just to get that tent set up, and I'm going to drive up to a local ham radio spot and try out the HF radio on the back of the truck. So we are at a familiar campsite. I've put the tent down there. It's got basic facilities, shower block, toilets, and there's the camping barn that I use during the winter. But during the other 3 seasons I tend to throw a tent just down on the grass there. There's the Roaches, which is another ham radio favourite hotspot. If that clears up later, I may try and get up there and operate the radio. However, my confidence in the Icom IC-705 in this type of weather, my confidence isn't that high with it at the moment. It's a great portable radio for carrying around the house, maybe from building to building, maybe from tent to tent, but to take the IC-705 up where you know it's going to get damp and wet and muddy and maybe not, my confidence isn't super high with that. So that's one of the reasons why I'm just not 100% sure about going out in that sort of wet soup and walking about in it with the Icom. Right, I'm going to drive up to some higher ground and play a bit of HF radio. Lovely. The rain is really coming down. Especially on as we climb up, because the campsite is on a slightly lower level, so it's giving me a bit of protection to get the tent up. But now as we climb back up, we will start to get back into the white soup.
Yokohama Zulu Zulu, Italy Kilo 5, Yokohama Zulu Zulu.
Everything seems to be working hunky-dory. I've got the Wi-Fi on, running from this, got the inverter going through the distribution box using the battery at the back. So I've got the Wi-Fi into the inverter, so I've got Wi-Fi running so I can run the Surface Go. Lots of signals, lots of strong signals coming in, so I'm really happy with the receive. I know from the last trip out and from earlier, I'm getting used to just putting one call out and getting somebody back on that first call, so confidence is high in this setup.
From Georgia. The first one today.
Mexico 0 Sugar Zulu Tango Mobile.
Okay, Carla, Mike 0 Sugar Zulu Tango Mobile Station 59.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you were also 59 into the UK. Nice strong signal. And yeah, I'm just running 80 watts into a mobile antenna. Back to you. Yeah, Roger, Roger. It's Mike 0 Sierra Zulu Tango Sugar Zulu Tango. You are 5151 QSL. I'm going to go back to the tent and set up the Slidewinder coil and mill whip and radials and radio while it's not pouring it down, because it's just a pain when it's absolutely throwing it down and you're trying to Right, as I was saying, I got interrupted by a big tractor coming straight for me and the 4-meter radio coming to life. Yeah, I'm back at the campsite. I'm going to set the radio up and the antenna and the radials while it's still dry, and yeah, just chill out around here for a bit. And I might go to the pub later and have a pub meal, because I just don't feel like cooking outdoors in the rain. It just doesn't appeal to me today. I want a lazy day. I think it's a lazy day I'm having, and enjoying it as well. So I'm thinking, I know from past experience that this ground is pretty much hardcore underneath. It's so many bricks. It's going to be really difficult to drive down the spike. However, I'm thinking close to this little I think it's meant to be a feature of some type. I'm going to see if I can drive the spike down there and run the radials. I want to run the radials up and just skirt the edges of this rock, so in case for some reason any kids want to come and play on here, that we don't have any accidents. So I can run two that way. I might have to just run one, yeah, maybe up and around. I'll work it out anyway, but I just need to drive in this spike from the super antenna into the ground and then run the radials out, and then I'm going to fasten on the mill whip. I'll fasten on the coil, then the mill whip. Okay, so that was super easy to set up. That's one of the things I love about this combination, is it's so easy to get together. I don't know what these are for. I don't know if you put them over, I don't know, but anyway, the mill whip, you see these a lot in the military. even with the green radios like the Klansman, you get a very similar, it's like elastic cord that runs through the whip, so it keeps all the pieces together, a bit like a tent pole I guess, and then they all just slide into each other, all the sections do, and just make sure all the sections are all closed in. And then a nice sturdy, well made I think 3/8 screws into the top of the Slidewinder, and I haven't moved this coil since I last used it on 20 meters, so it may be tuned in, I don't know. And I'm using the super antenna base and the spike on this one. That's as far as I can get into the ground. I'm running three radials, and these are, I think they're only 5 meters. Now really I want to get a fourth one on, so I'm running at least a full wave on the 20 meter band, but I haven't got any wire in the car, so I'm running on 3, so that'll put me at a disadvantage anyway, but we'll see how we get on. What I have brought with me is one of these antenna testers. It's the Zoom AA35 Zoom testers, so a nice, quick and simple way of checking the SWR. I reckon I can try and move that a little bit. 1.32. It's tuned in across the band really. Just a couple of tiny minor tweaks brought it down from 1.47 to 1 to 1.32 to 1. So just on that very basic understanding, that very basic measurement, it seems to be doing okay. Nice, simple. And the good thing about it is, with this particular coil, I've got no concerns about the going out of tune, whereas the super antenna, if there's a certain amount of vibration and weight on top of the super antenna, sometimes I feel that moves, especially when using quite a heavy whip on it in really windy, blustery weather. Anyway, we're done. My feet are soaked. I'm going to go and get a brew, chill out for half an hour, and I'll come back later and we'll try and do a bit of radio from the tent.
Hotel Mike Zulu Company, Italy Sugar Zero Golf Foxtrot Radio, over. This is in Catalonia, okay, Catalonia.
Right. Hello and welcome back. I've just spent a few hours just chilling out in the tent and the Land Rover. Ended up having some food at the back of the Land Rover because the pub was shut, but it's been absolutely pouring. It comes as no surprise that it's absolutely pouring down outside of this tent. It's really hammering it, and it's nice to hear against the outside of the tent. I'm also quite near a stream as well, so when you lie here you can hear the rain on the tent, you can hear the stream coming past, and you've got the radio as well, and it's quite a nice blend. There's lots of signals on 20 meters. It's 9 o'clock at night.
59, 58, 59 in Old Italy. Mike vehicle side. Mike 0, Mike Kilo Whiskey, go ahead.
Morning. That was a fair sleep. Did rain through the night. The tent stayed fairly dry. A lot of condensation on the inside. Even though I had it had it vented, I was conscious of having all the equipment in the tent, the radio, cameras, phone, all of that malarkey. So it's just quite a tight tent for operating the radio in. It's manageable, but yeah, you are conscious of rolling over and lying on your radio. I was hoping to do FT8 last night, but the Surface Pro, the WS-JTX, needs updating on it. Didn't update it, so I'm not prepared enough for that, so I'll try that next time. I did try to get a contact on 20 meters, but 10 watts into the compromised antenna, it's going to take more patience. It's going to take, I only gave it half an hour or so, did a little bit of filming of it, but I didn't really give it justice really. Lit on the receive side, absolutely lots and lots of stations being received, but there's quite a lot of stations that are very loud but they don't hear anybody anyway. So it's just going to be a case of patience with 10 watts on the Slidewinder coil and the mill whip, especially for voice. There's going to be lots of patience needed. I'm sure we'll get a contact on it. Just keep going at it. Once I start using the digital modes on it, that's when it will start to shine much more. Using this sort of low power, low signal type modes, I think it will fare much better. But I'm enjoying it. It's a great setup. Keep going at it, and then hopefully get it on video. If we can get it on video, the first voice contact, that would be fun. But that's it. I'm gonna have some breakfast, cup of tea, breakfast, wrap up, and then head home. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye for now.